Welcome to the channel. We're going to do the top 10 reasons why people fail the driving test in 2024. Junctions observations is always in the top 2 of the top 10 reasons why people fail the driving test. So whenever you approach a junction using your routine, mirrors, signal, position, speed and look, is your speed too slow on the approach? Is the speed too fast on the approach? Are you doing the correct observations to right, left, right? Is the parked vehicles on that junction? These are the things you've got to consider. So if you're going into junction thinking, I'm going to be extra careful, I'm going to slow down for first gear about 2-3 cars before the junction, that's probably wrong. You're going to pick up a fault for it if you're going too slow on the approach, because what's going to happen if it's a car behind you, he might be trying to go around you thinking that you're stopping at something silly like that. And when you come to a junction, make sure you can see clearly. Is it an open junction? So on the approach of it, can you see on your right and left? That'll give you an answer. If you can, great, it's an open junction. Is it clear? Yes, then I can go then, can't I? If I'm stopping for no reason, then I'm going to get an observation fault. If I'm coming to a junction and I can't see, and at a junction there's parked cars or there's trees or fences on either right or left or both sides, then it's a closed junction. I should be stopping and giving good observations to the right and left. And if I still can't see, I've got to lean forward and have a good look and edge out slowly. Mirrors change direction. You should be checking your mirrors 25 to 50% of the time, just glancing in the mirrors, not staring in your mirrors. And it should be like quick glances, see what's going on behind you, what's going on beside you. If you're going to change direction going around the car, you should be checking the right mirror. If you're coming back in, you should be checking the left mirror. All these things you should be doing. If you're slowing down for anything, you should be checking your mirrors to make sure what's behind you before you start braking. So if you're not doing these things, or if you're accelerating to go around something, you're not checking, then you're going to have problems, because cars are reacting to what you're doing. So if there's a car behind you and they start seeing you slowing down and there's a gap ahead of you, they might try and go round you. So if you're going to slow down, check your rear view mirror, check your right mirror, see what's next to you, what could possibly go round you. If you're going to go up the gears and accelerate, check what's going next to you, if anyone's overtaking you. If you're going to change from the right lane to the left lane on a dual carriageway or vice versa, check your mirrors before you signal. So checking their mirrors is essential. And if you don't check them, you're going to have a problem, because if you go and then check, it's too late. So check before you move, check before you slow down, check when you're going around things. Control steering is the next one, and lots of people say to me, will I use the push and pull method or not use the push and pull method when I'm steering? If you're not sure what that is, by the way, I'll put a video at the top up there somewhere for you to watch what the push and pull method is. I say to people, if you can use push and pull method, it's more safer. You know, it's easier to use. I mean, there's going to be lots of people who debate this, I'm sure there is, but I've been using it for years. It's never been a problem for me. I teach my students to use it, and I say to them, there's a little bit of leeway in that. So if you're going around the corner and you've got your hands near the bottom of the steering wheel and you're like spinning your hands, the steering wheel, you're not controlling the wheel at that point. You should be near the middle or towards the 10 to 2 position or quarter to 3. Your hands should be when you're straightening up, not kind of at the bottom of the wheel together. So, and if you're letting the car go wide out of a turn, you'll definitely get a steering fault for control. Okay, so and also consider the steering with manoeuvres. If you're not controlling that steering and you're crossing your hands, spinning it around, not looking around where the car's going, you're going to get a control fault for steering. So consider these things and you'll be fine. Remember, keep your speeds down on them turns and you'll find your steering will be easy at the same time. Moving off safely, and the most common reason why people do things wrong when they're moving off safely is either leaving the left signal on, so they pulled over the left signal on and then left it on when they're moving off, so it's not safe. You're going to confuse people. If there's a car ahead of you who's on a junction, he might pull in front of you because he thinks you're trying to turn. Or not checking round safely, not using your observations, and pulling off in the wrong gear. That's another one. You know, struggling, maybe rolling backwards. And then the final one is when you are looking round and you see cars approaching, acting on what you see. You know, people will see cars approaching and they'll still move off because they want to get on with it because they're on a driving test, and you've got to think safely. The cars approaching behind you see yours parked up at that point, so they're going to try and go round you. If they're approaching quickly, you've got to say, well, just sit tight and wait. Let them go past you and then recheck that it's safe, doing your 5-point check that it's safe before you move off. Turning right at junctions is always going to be a tricky one compared to turning left, because you're crossing 2 lanes to get to your lane at that point. You're crossing the first lane to go to your second lane, which is going to be on the left lane when you turn, isn't it? And it's always essential that when you approach a junction to turn right, that you make sure that it's safe on both sides, because you've got to look at 2 lots of traffic. And what people do is they'll do right, left, right, and then, oh, I've got a gap there, I'm going to go for it. And if it's a busy road, you should be thinking, well, it's busy, I need to slow down, stop at the junction, and start to weigh up the speeds and looking for the gaps. And don't just go staying to the right all the time. You should be looking at both sides of the road to make sure it's safe to pull out. So it's essential that when you do pull out to go to the right, that you're not going to slow traffic down on either the right or left. And when you get into that left lane to go right, you make sure the traffic who's coming up behind you is not slowed down, because if it is slowing down behind you straight away, then you know you pulled out too soon. So don't be afraid to wait for the safe gap, then rather pull into a small gap that's dangerous. Moving off under control. This is quite a common one, and usually what it means is that you're in the wrong gear when you're moving off, so you're going to stall, or you're going to not control the pedals very well, so you're accelerating and you're spinning the wheel and running off quickly, or you're rolling backwards on a hill, or you're struggling to pull off and you're not putting enough gas and clutch to control things. So keep things controlled in your gears. Make sure you're in the first gear, make sure you've got enough power, enough biting point for the road that you're going to use. If it's on a hill, more gas, more bite. And when you do release the handbrake to go, you're not rolling backwards, you're not stalling. Response to traffic signals, traffic lights. Now, don't expect to pass the driving test if you're stopping for no reason, because if you approach a traffic light on red and you're thinking, right, okay, it's on red, I can see it's on red, it's about 10 cars away, I'm slowing myself down to stop, and you don't pay attention to that light, it might change. And if you're slowing down and the lights start changing, and even though you've not stopped, you're slowing right down as though you're stopping, the car behind you is thinking, why are you stopping? It's gone back to green. So pay attention to the traffic lights. And if you're going past them, they're on green, keep an eye on them, because they might change at the same time. So if you're approaching one that's red and you're stopping, right, that's fine. It's on red, I'm stopping. As I'm stopping, thinking, right, okay, I've stopped, get myself ready for that first gear, because it's going to change, isn't it? I don't want to sit there thinking, right, okay, then it's just gone red, I'm brake neutral, I'm at the front of the queue, get myself into gear, get myself ready to go. Because if that light changes, I want to get going, because if I don't go, I'm holding traffic up. If I'm holding traffic up, I'm going to fail my test for no reason. Reverse bay parking control. Now, the most common reasons why people fail this manoeuvre is observations or lack of control. So the lack of control will be keeping that clutch under control so that you're going slow. If that clutch is going too high, the car's going to go fast, isn't it? And if you're going fast, you're not going to be able to do your observations, because you're going to be worried about what's happening next. So keep that car under control. Practice having that clutch low to go slow, high to go fast. And there's nothing wrong with slowing the car down and stopping for a second to just double check things, make sure it's safe. And while you're controlling that clutch, obviously make sure you get in the bay. Use your observations, use your mirrors, use your blind spots. Okay? Positioning when driving, that's your normal driving position. And it's important that when you're driving on the road, you're in the middle of your lane. I know it sounds like common sense, but you sometimes see people, oh, what do you get a fault for? Positioning, I don't ask for. It's because you're drifting. You're either going to the curb and skimming the curb, or you're going over the white line or next to the white line, where it's dangerous, there's a big truck coming towards you. So stay in the middle of the lane on the straight road. On a road that's slightly bendy, you have to adjust your position to stay in the middle at the same time. Going round corners, stay in the middle lane again. So I know it sounds common sense, but lots of people, they lose their position, they get the wheels mounting the curbs on the bends, or they go over the white line because they can't go round that bend to the left. So keep in the middle of the lane, you won't get a lane position fault then. So the final one is response to signals, traffic signs. And what it is when you approach traffic signs, if for whatever reason there's a sign there saying they're not working, then you need to be thinking, oh, I need to slow down here. There's no red light on it, no green light, no amber light. So I need to be checking that the others working at the side. No, they're all off. There was a sign at the side saying they're out of action. So I need to be slowing down. I need to be looking to move right and left if it's a junction, or if it's a crossroads, can I cross safely? So you need to be able to react to that danger of there's no lights there, so I need to react to what's going on around me. Or it could be you're approaching a temporary traffic sign and maybe the sign's blew over something, so you need to be looking ahead. Is it safe? Look what's going on. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed these 10 reasons why people, most common reasons why people fail the driving test. If you do, fantastic.